Well, good evening, friends. I don't know. It's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. We went to the Larkin Poe show last night in Kansas City. Uh, I don't know. I guess I bought close to a dozen tickets. Had the whole VCI support group there. Because we've got some really good sponsors, amazing people, and they really enjoyed the show. It was a treat for them. Um, just a few things to critique. Not saying it was not a good show. It was an amazing show, right? It's always an amazing show. Uh, but we'll circle back to that, and we'll get to it. But I guess I'm in the critiquing mode. I'm gonna fill you in on some do's and don'ts in the beverage field. Let me put on my sexy ass glasses here. And first up, we were in Branson for a weekend, and they have a distillery there, Smith Creek Moonshine. Everything they make it from a corn whiskey, like a straight corn whiskey, which everybody calls it moonshine, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Um, just a couple things. I didn't have my glasses when I bought this, and I couldn't taste it because I didn't have my ID with me. I left it back at the house. But this is the coffee. So it's Smith's Creek coffee flavored moonshine. Um, when you look closer, upon closer inspection, you can see 50 proof. So this is 25% alcohol. This isn't a moonshine. This is a friggin' liqueur. And I don't know what I did with it. I I don't know. I probably put it in a different jar somewhere or something, but it's not good. Um, it's I guess drinkable, but it doesn't have the alcohol content. It doesn't have the good flavor. So I'm going to recommend that if you ever go to Branson and you go uh, to the outlet area, it's like an outdoor mall area. I don't know. I couldn't tell you where it's at. It's not downtown. Anyway, um, if you go to this place, taste it before you buy it, okay? And look closely on the label, because close to $30 for something that's got the proof of a brandy, I, I I'm not paying for that. Well, I did, didn't I? Dumbass. Anyway, let's at least look at it. Grain neutral spirits with natural flavor and caramel color, 25% alcohol by volume. Let's see. It says, oh, it has a recipe number 716. Yeah, I'm going to make fun of them. Sorry. Anyway, produced and bottled by Smith Creek Distillery in Branson, Missouri. Yeah, definitely be wary, okay? Be very wary. I'm not saying that these people out for money, but the product doesn't really match what I desire. You might like it. You might want to pay $26 for a 750 mil, which is a fifth of basically brandy. No, I'm not doing it. That was a mistake. My mistake. All right, what do we got up next? I'm not going to taste that because I can already tell you what it tastes. So, yeah, it's been Christmas, right? I hope everybody got a Christmas present this year and enjoyed your time with your family. I did. For some reason, my family thinks I drink more whiskey than I probably do. So this is what they get me. Shit like this. So, and I think I drank some of this. I'll taste a little more. I think that this is more if you, and trust me, it'll be popular if you like Starbucks coffee. This, I believe, is the beverage for you. Uh, I am not a fan of Starbucks coffee. The you know, like when you go buy coffee beans and you can get the ones that have vanilla flavor in them or whatever, and it just for me it tastes different. I'm not a fan of it. I prefer vanilla in my creamer and lighten it up. If I'm going to add vanilla flavor to coffee, it needs to be light, you know, like a cappuccino, which really doesn't have any coffee in it to begin with, but a little more coffee. Anyway, not espresso type stuff, but if you do like that, this is what you're gonna want. This is a Kentucky coffee whiskey made with Kentucky whiskey and rich coffee, 66 proof. So that's 33% alcohol by volume. You're bumping it up a little bit. This is bumped up a little bit. It's still drinkable, right? This is something you could drink over ice. I don't have any ice with me, but I believe this is something that you can drink over ice, and it's going to basically taste like an iced coffee from Starbucks or whatever your local roastery with their little baristas are going to serve you when you order like a straight up coffee. This is about what it's going to taste like, except with a little bit of kick to it, which there's nothing wrong with that. Let me see. It really produced and bottled by Kentucky Coffee Whiskey Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. I think I have a stop in Bardstown. Yes. Okay. Bardstown, Kentucky. I believe this is right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they have a distillery there that is a wood log distillery or wood log still. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, there's a distillery in Bardstown, I believe, and they have a wood log still. I think that's what it's called. And what they would do was hollow out a log and use that for part of their still. Very unique process. I don't know what kind of flavor it puts in there, but I think on our way to Georgia this spring, we have a stop scheduled in Bardstown if we're on time. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I want to go to that place. That's pretty cool. But this is in the same town. Could possibly be owned by the same people. I don't know. But let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. And excuse me, we'll do a little tiny critique on the concert. So the concert was phenomenal, as always. Awesome job. Changes, if I had anything to change. Now, I noticed, so it was in Knucklehead's Garage, small venue, 500 people maybe, I don't know. Small venue. And I didn't see Frank. I don't think he was there. It was Tuesday, probably after his bedtime. Anyway, I thought that the audio was perfect quality, very high quality stuff. Could have been a little more volume to it. And you work with what you got, right? I mean, if your equipment can only do so much before you start to get clipping and noise, that's all you got. Nobody wants to hear clipping and noise. That it gets to a level, and then once you go over that peak, your equipment is overdriving and it sounds trashy, right? It's just trash when you get above a certain volume. Take your car stereo, if you will, or maybe even older one, or your home stereo, and turn it up to like 60%. And then you go a little bit beyond that, 75 or 80%, you can start to hear that, right? You hear that trash. It's just trash that comes in over the top of the music. It's just, you're just overdriving the finals in the final amplifiers in the system. And it just sounds crappy. So you do what you can work with. But I would say, I didn't have a meter with me, but I would guess we were probably somewhere between 100 and 125 dB, if I just had to guess. And it felt like there could have been a little more. Now, again, great quality sound. Crystal clear, no disruptions, no bullshit. But when you have a song like The Deep Stays Down, and you drop the hammer on that bridge, you have to bruise a spleen when you do that. That has to come in up here, just everything you got, and you can just you shake the foundation with it. I didn't get that. But again, you might have limitations with the equipment. I don't know. The only other critique I have, possible improvement. I was watching the show. I was back by the soundboard, so I felt like I had the best spot, or one of the best spots in the place, for sound. But as I was watching the show, you're looking towards the stage, and you get punched in the face by this orange light, and you're like, God dang, what the fuck just happened? And then you open your eyes and it hits you fucking again. They're like going up and down and whacking you in the face, and then they come back down and they blind you again, and it was disruptive. But there's a fix. You can put diffusers on those lights, and I think just having some diffusers on there to just soften them up a little bit might save eyeballs. Because it was like somebody was slapping you. It really was. But other than that, yeah, it kicked ass. It was a good time, and everybody in the VCI crew just loved it. I couldn't thank those folks enough for all that they do. Of course, I bought a Jeep off of my buddy with the brewery, Steve. He's got Call Sign Brewing in Kansas City, and we wheeled a deal. He wouldn't leave. He wanted to sit there and bullshit in the auditorium all night long. And I'm like, okay, don't matter. It's snowing outside. My phone's gonna ring anyway. I couldn't drink. I might as well sit there and listen to him chatter. Of course, we're good friends and everything. And every once in a while, so, you just got to visit with folks. I'll visit with Steve all day long. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. Okay, we're gonna try this. Yeah, so it smells like Starbucks. Okay, it's good. It is good. There's a lot of sugar to it. Speaking of, what was that? Southern Comfort? Yeah. It could be with the sugar, Southern Comfort's got a lot of sugar. Give you a hell of a headache. I steer clear of that stuff, because if you drink too much of it, you're going to have a headache. Promise you that. So, yeah, that was the Kentucky coffee. Not bad. Let's rinse the palate and continue on. I hope everybody, again, had a kick-ass Christmas. Mine was fine. The kids come over and they do the thing. I've been trying to finish up the carpet in the basement. I've got, I don't know, 8 yards left to lay in the family room. It's a big room, and I have to lay it in 2 sections, and I got rid of the padding here. The padding back here I was able to save, and had to take all this shit and move it out and then bring it back in. So I'm trying to organize this mess down here. It's getting there. I've got stuff back here that's almost done organizing on the shelf, and stuff over here that's at least it's in a spot, and I know everything's categorized, so I know where it's at. And then my tech bench, well, don't ask. You don't want to see that tech bench. Okay, what do we got up next? Dancing Goat Distillery. I need a sharp object. Here we go. Okay, Dancing Goat Distillery. I don't know anything about this. My daughter's fiance got this for me, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. That's a whole nother story. Family. Oh, family. Okay. Oh, this is a high rye bourbon, and if you know me, you know I don't like rye. But I'll take a little swig and we'll see what it does here. Hang on. Pour a little drinky drink. And no, I'm not on call tonight. There's no weather tonight. Everything's cleared off. 50% alcohol by volume. To be exact, 50.9. Single Berry Select, bottled exclusively for Sweets R Us. If you know who that is, let me know. I got no idea who the hell that is. Anyway, it's a small batch. Got a barrel number on here. 6 years aged, which is definitely bourbon. Anything else? Well, I'm looking. I'm looking. Trying to find out where. Oh, where? Here it is. Dancing Goat Distillery, Cambridge, Wisconsin. Wisconsin. I think Pat and Ben was up there this week. They were not Davenport, but somewhere around there in southern Wisconsin, and then stopped in Quincy on the way back. He bought a new van, one of them big, giant 3/4 ton transport jobs. Brought it by here, just to have me and Dad look over it and everything. Of course, everybody just listen to Dad when he says something. He looked it over. He was pretty happy with it. I was pretty happy with it. We checked it all out. Apparently, it worked great, and he fit everything in the van, so he didn't have to deal with a trailer. All right, let's try some Dancing Goat Distillery high rye bourbon. High proof. That's what that means. High proof. Well, at 50.9, that makes it 100.45 proof or something. 101. I don't know. A lot. It doesn't smell bad. It's got a good nose on it. It's not. It don't knock you over. There's that rye. God, I hate that. Ugh. I'm sorry. I don't. That's not for me. If you like rye whiskey, that's fine, and that's great for you, and enjoy it. And as a matter of fact, I'll give you what I got, because that shit ain't for me. Not for me. I like corn. It's much more mellow. Basically toned down, you know. But, and I don't care if it's 100 proof. That doesn't matter. The proof is not what ruins it for me. It's the flavor. Okay, last up. We're going to wrap this up. And then I'm going to take the rest of the night off. All right, so you might have heard of this before. I don't know. It's Basil Hayden. This is Jim Beam's premium batch bourbon whiskey. I couldn't tell you much about it. I've never bought a bottle. It's another bottle. My daughter bought this for me. I know it's expensive and I'm too cheap to buy the shit. Anyway, Jim Beam, of course, Frankfort, Kentucky, blah, blah, blah. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. And, of course, being as it's Jim Beam, it'll be a corn mash whiskey and then aged in a barrel for 6 years or something. I don't know. It says finish as dried fruit, and it's got a batch number, but I don't know how many years this was aged, and I don't see it on here anyway, and it really doesn't matter to me. Looking at the color, you know, I'd say 5 or 6 years at the most. But it doesn't tend to get too much darker once you hit the timeline. But we had some that was 10-year aged a couple of years ago, and it was pretty good. But let's wrap it up with a little Basil Hayden. And cheers to you all. I hope everybody has a wonderful spring, and I will catch up with you soon. I suppose when I get back from Campsite Bravo. All right. Yeah, that's smooth. It does have a lot of barrel flavor to it, but it's very smooth, very drinkable, not rye. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope y'all enjoy every minute you have on this planet, because we're not here for long. It's just a matter of time. One of my sponsors' dads passed away last Sunday, and it's a tough deal. So Take care of yourselves, okay? Bye.